Good day to all. Welcome to Extreme Recap. The future. Quantum weapons destroyed the planet. Furthermore, mutants began to emerge among the survivors. We were told at the beginning of the story that the 60-minute war nearly killed everyone on Earth. The survivors transformed their villages and towns into mobile cities. People are now looking for food and fuel, and small towns are being taken over by big cities. Consequently started another time of ruthless urban communities. A young lady named Esther Shaw, whose face is half secret by a scarf, investigates the distance through a telescope, attempting to see the conceivable risk. Abruptly, the young lady sees the oncoming savage city. Esther breaks into a small working town, which is the predator city's target. An alert sounds in the town. Engines are started and all buildings are folded. Furthermore, the mobile city is prepared to flee. The mayor of nomadic London is Magnus Krome. Orders the catch of the Bavarian town of Salt Snare to ingest its assets. The small town refuses to give up and continues to fight for London's residents' freedom. It's just for fun to capture another town, because they fled quickly. The Bavarian town is going to pieces. London takes the city with several harpoons. Additionally, the mayor directs that it be recycled. The small one is quickly absorbed by the big city. Tom, a young historian, arrives at the London Museum to work there. There, he meets Catherine, a young woman who is researching ancient history and the causes of the 60-second war. They go through the museum's halls, where you can see things like computers and smartphones. Tom invites Catherine to his workshop to learn more about the war. Where he sorts and fixes collectibles, the person figured out how to re-establish a video which shows the consequence of utilizing a quantum energy weapon brought Medusa blasts all around the planet, obliterated practically all life and perpetually steered. Catherine hears from Tom that hazardous artifacts have recently begun to vanish from the workshop. Now, the individual intends to destroy a number of military items by throwing them to the bottom of the swamp at the right time by concealing them in a cache. As Tom imparts his mysterious to Catherine, the antiquarian Herbert follows them. Having met youngsters in the passageway, he sends Tom to the Salt Hook immigrants' reception point. Tom should choose among their own effects. Objects of verifiable worth before the laborers send them to the heater. Migrants are examined on the city's lower levels. They are illegal to convey weapons, however Esther Shaw figures out how to conceal a blade from the controllers. Simultaneously, a declaration is being communicated in the city about the quest for Antooth, one of the specialists of the class of adversaries of the development. Catherine accelerates Tom's progress to the lower level. What's more, there they meet Greasy, as Valentine, Catherine's dad and top of the Students of History Organization of London. A nuclear inverter battery is unintentionally discovered among personal belongings. According to Tom, he had a lot of these batteries, but the Guild of Engineers took them for some reason. Valentine guards the old inhabitant of Salt Snare from the resolution of the tradition's official and requests to individuals whose city has quite recently been gobbled up, promising them cover, work and an opportunity to begin a new, happier life. Esther is furious when she notices Valentine. The girl is set on winning. Esther, a prominent historian, draws the sword. Additionally, prior to stabbing, reveals that it is retribution for Pandora. Her mom. My mother deserves this. The girl manages to hurt Valentine, but Tom, who is on his way to help the man, stops her from finishing what she started during the fight. And the girl's scarf falls off. What's more, we see a great deal of scars all over. Tom is after Esther, forcing her to flee. The girl gets through a lot and encounters a lot of danger, but Tom doesn't plan to run away. Esther Shaw winds up on the edge of a midriff chute and must choose the option to hop directly into it. Tom gets her arm without a moment to spare, keeping her from falling. The young lady says that Valentine ended the existence of her mom and that he does this with each and every individual who gets as he would prefer. Valentine makes contact with the youth. Surprised, Esther also slips deep into the filming. Tom asserts that he is and that he was unable to rescue the girl. The man speaks with authority about her mother. Additionally, Tom is pushed into the shoe by Valentine at once. Catherine rushes to the scene, nervous. She hears from her father that Tom and the stranger fell because the railing gave way. Out of nowhere, Catherine sees a specialist named Davis Case, who saw what truly occurred. The girl has the impression that her father is concealing something. Catherine tries to find out who the stranger is from her father. Valentine says that this is whenever he first has seen her and that she might be from the Counterfeiting Association. The man attempts to persuade his girl that fixed and moving urban communities can never live calmly. Using traditional cities that are shielded by the shield wall, the stationary city of Shangguo builds an alternative civilization. As per Valentine, the enemies are simply obsessed with the idea of destroying London and are waiting for the moving cities to starve to death. Scout ships go searching for Tom and Esther. The young lady comprehends that she can't uncover herself, any other way she won't get by. She looks through Tom, who is simply starting to recapture cognizance, takes the blade from him and leaves. The terrified man pleaded with the girl not to leave him. Esther is extremely irate, because she tried for 6 months to get close to Valentine. Additionally, the man ruined everything. He offers Esther his apologies and begs for assistance getting to London. Valentine talks to Mayor Crome, who tells the historian that the city has used up all of its resources. Greasy has for quite some time been fostering a spearheading energy project, yet the city chairman is now burnt out on pausing. Their conversation is overheard by Catherine, and her father explains to her that municipal Darwinism is the idea that people should hunt each other. As per which all savage urban communities live, has previously outlasted its convenience. But without Magnus Crome or Hester Shaw, Thaddeus has a plan to keep London alive at all costs. Now, stop me. Valentine goes to the research center stowed away from the eyes of local people and Road. Paul's Cathedral from the project's creator, Dr. Twiggs. He discovers that it will require a couple of additional weeks to finish it. The woman invites Valentine to deal with her amid reports that she has received news from Sharp, a different prison, about the capture of a stalker, a resurrected one who broke out of control. The woman believes that Esther can interfere with their plans and invites Valentine to do so. He's after rest, and that implies he can accomplish practically everything for Valentine. The history specialist promptly goes to the prison. Esther and Tom took a break in the meantime because they were worn out. The individual discusses his desire to become an aviator. But since of the untimely finish of his folks, his fantasy was not bound to work out. He asks Esther about her mother, but the girl is still angry with Tom at night and is not ready to talk about anything personal. Tom comes across a market town and asks for help. Because the Southerners who went out to hunt at night cannot save them, Esther rushes to stop the man. They evade the harpoons and suddenly fall through the scuttlebug's hatch. Tom celebrates at the salvage and asks the proprietors for a ride to the closest market town. Esther, who was shot in the leg, is wary of strangers' hospitality and distrusts them. Catherine also asks Bevis Pod to tell her the truth about what happened at the shooting when she finds him. The man reluctantly explains that Tom was shoved into the waste chute by her father because he got in the way of Fatty Us. Additionally, Vivas informs the girl that the energy project is merely a cover for something far more sinister and perilous. The individual assured that the cathedral is undergoing construction. Additionally, he attempted to enter. However, the building is guarded from every angle. Tom and Esther stay for the time being. At Scuttlebug, the young lady chooses to inform Tom regarding how Valentine ended the existence of her mom. Additionally, Dora Shaw was an international traveler who worked as an archaeologist. Greasy frequently visited them at home and inspected antiquated finds. However, one day during excavations in America's former territory, everything drastically changed. Valentine really needed a particular suitcase, so Pandora found it. The woman was reluctant to reveal herself. The risk is penalized. As a result, the historian finally got rid of her. Pandora figured out how to give up her pendant to Esther. The young lady figured out how to get away, yet before that, Valentine wounded her in the face with a blade. In the interim, Valentine shows up at Sharkmoor Jail. There, he discovers that the stalker is exceptionally hazardous and has previously obliterated an entire city. Greasy goes to the discipline cell wherein the revived is held and inquires as to why he really wants Esther and how he will manage her when he views as her. Esther says that she broke her promise to a frightening creature with glowing green eyes. He will destroy this as well. Valentine goes after the jail, liberating the beast. Also, the stalker goes out and hunts. Tom informs Esther in the early morning that they have changed course and are now traveling south. And their owners keep them in a cage. Tom discovers a hatch as they attempt to escape the trap, but Esther refuses to jump due to her injury. Tom stays with the girl and decides not to leave. A bartering is occurring in the slave market. Tom and Esther will be sold into slavery. Anna Fang appears suddenly among the crowd. A wanted member of the resistance who is taking action against crazy Southerners. The enigmatic woman freezes. Tom Youngers are assisted by Esther in their efforts to quickly leave the city. However, they suddenly encounter Shrike, a stalker. The revived one says that Esther should keep the word given to him. Anna Fang comes to the girl's aid once more on her airship after she flees the unexpected encounter because of her fear. Tom does not have time to enter when she assists Esther. The girl is unable to leave the guy, so she throws him a rope and helps him get on the airship. Esther asks Anna incredulously why she saved them once they are safe. The lady says that she knew Pandora, and after her, and she attempted to track down her little girl, and as of late she discovered that Esther phenomenally may do, yet was certain that the young lady could never have overseen it alone. Tom realizes at this moment that Shrike, who raised Esther, was the reason she survived. Who donated? The person is stunned in light of the fact that he considered the restored, and their makers have placed into these beast robots all the more terrible that can be in individuals. Because Shrike saved her life, Esther is extremely dissatisfied to hear this. The young lady lets Tom know that Shrike took her to him and dealt with her decently well. He took the pendant that Pandora gave Esther to himself with a girl because he was interested in it. Moreover, he gathered dolls and different broken things in which he saw his own appearance. In the trike, there appeared to be some recollection of family and normal life. He suggested one day, as he observed the girl who was always sad, that Esther become like him so that she would never have to suffer again. After all, cyborgs cannot feel or remember anything. I will. Esther agreed and made a promise to become a cyborg. However, Esther soon learned that London had entered the great hunting grounds and had fled from Strike in order to get revenge on Thaddeus Valentine. In the meantime, Herbert, a young scientist, discovered in Tom's workshop a warehouse of military artifacts, reveals his discovery to Valentine in the hope of promotion. After this conversation, Catherine and Bevis found out that members of the Guild of Engineers had stolen all of the exhibits and taken them to the cathedral through a secret passage in the workshop. Catherine and Beavers then made their way up the winding stairs to the cathedral to find out what was really going on there. They are doing absolutely nothing with the debris in that church. Scientists adjust every system and finish building the machine using stolen components. Now that Guo and Valentine have been given orders to move east, London is prepared for war. Anna Tooth with Esther and Tom land in the flying city of Air Safe House. Esther and Tom meet Guo Anti-Movement League members. Anna says that Pandora requested to find Esther in light of the fact that no one but she can stop Valentine. The girl is unsure of how she can assist. She only remembers that Thaddeus took a box from her mother that fateful evening. Captain Cora reveals that Valentine began purchasing nuclear inverter batteries 6 months ago. And all of a sudden, Tom recalls a recent conversation with the man who draws the quantum weapons sign. What's more, Esther affirms that she saw it on that case. The man now comprehends that Pandora has discovered a computer and a means of gaining access to the Medusa quantum energy weapon. It is feasible to handicap it just with the assistance of an extraordinary key, however it has for some time been lost, as you said, is. Magnus Chrome storms into the cathedral, furious, and demands that Valentine explain why he is giving orders under Valentine's nose. However, he suddenly shifts his focus to the newly launched Medusa. Additionally, his speechless Valentine explains that London is invincible with such weapons. Chrome is against starting a new war and wants the machine turned off. But no one does as he tells them. Valentine gets rid of the mayor as part of his plan to rule the entire world. Catherine and Beavis are horrified by what they see in the cathedral, along with anyone else who gets in his way. Valentine's girl understands that she no longer has a dad. She will never be able to comprehend his actions. In Air Harbor, there is a lot of noise. The members of the resistance learn that London is approaching Guo and that they only have a few hours to stop Valentine. The governor needs to be warned about the insane historian's desire to destroy the shield wall. The flying city suddenly loses power. Esther learns that the Shrike is after her. Despite Esther's request for them not to fire, the members of the resistance open fire on the cyborg. Fire breaks out. The city's residents are rushing to leave, so he suddenly vanished and reappeared in front of Esther and Tom. The cyborg prevents Tom from attacking him and is about to kill him. The resurrected realizes that the girl loves Tom before he succumbed to his multiple wounds after Esther begged Shrank to let him go. Esther's promise is frozen by the shrimp. He passes out after giving the girl the mother's pendant. During a power outage, Shrike memories about minutes from their existence with Esther, as well as their genuine kid. Esther and Tom are again saved by Anna Tooth in an aircraft. The air harbor collapses. Members of the anti-movement league travel to Shangguo. When Fattiest Valentine addresses Londoners, he makes the announcement that he intends to seize control of the city, which will serve as their new hunting grounds. Valentine's ideas are celebrated and enthusiastically supported. Members of the resistance arrive. The governor is persuaded by Shangri-Anna to launch the fleet into the air in order to strike London. First, the city hears an alarm. Every resident is on high alert. With his crew and arms, Captain Cora discusses a strategy for a preventative attack. Countless Shangguo. The sky already has warships. In the meantime, the vault of Rode Paul's church building opens in London, is prepared to strike on the special raised area of the class of adversaries of the development. Esther sees a god with a third eye in an image, identical to the necklace her mother gave her. When she opens it, the same key that lets her turn off Medusa is inside. The girl quickly informs Tom of the finds. Anna tells everyone to get as far away from London as possible because she knows that London will attack the Shangguo shield wall in a matter of seconds. After Valentine orders the Medusa to fire up, a powerful explosion shakes the wall and it bursts into flames of hell. In the interim, London restarts the systems to convey a subsequent strike. Esther and Tom Tolina discuss the key they found. Because this is the only chance to disable the quantum weapon, they recommend that members of the resistance travel to London. Everybody upholds the risky endeavor, on the grounds that the United Armada has previously been obliterated, and presently they should just go for it. Through heavy fire, Anna, Esther, Tom, and their companions are determined to enter London. In a fierce conflict with the adversary, not everyone prevails. The cathedral is entered by Esther and Anna. Molester advances toward the PC. Valentine is distracted by Anna, and they engage in a fierce duel in which Anna sustains serious injuries. Without a moment to spare, before the following blow, Esther stops Medusa. The system ceases to function when all sensors fail. Esther escapes after Anna gives up her life. Valentine comes across his daughter and explains that he had no choice but to leave her. Even though he had to save London at any cost, Catherine does not believe a word her father says. You did not act in this way for a noble purpose. You did it for your own benefit. Valentine makes one final endeavor to obliterate the safeguard wall. He orders his cronies to kill the employees in the wheelhouse. The city is now uncontrollably moving toward the wall. Catherine discovers the city when she sneaks into the wheelhouse, going to collide with the wall. Tom, who is watching from the airship, makes contact with Catherine in the cabin, and she responds. She is in a frenzy since London can't be halted as the brakes in the control board are handicapped. Tom gets the plan to explode the motor, to dial back London. Valentine, on the other hand, tries to flee, but Esther follows him. She is prepared to fire at him. However, Fatty abruptly reveals to the girl that he is her father. She loses her composure as a result of the news, and Valentine takes the weapon from her hands. When Tom suddenly appears and rescues Esther, they continue to fight. After that, the guy shoots down the Valentine ship Fatty and miraculously survives the shipwreck. However, he soon finds himself submerged beneath London's caterpillars. Catherine's Londoners, led by her, are getting close. The governor lets the people who survived enter the city. The rivalry that existed between London and the Anti-Traction League is now over. Tom and Esther take a trip in an airship because they've always wanted to see the world. Do you believe that former adversaries will be able to maintain peace for a considerable amount of time, or are our wars over resources and territory inevitable? Turn on notifications, please subscribe for more videos like this, and like the channel to support it. Thank you very much for watching.